调解不了，那谢谢你的好意，调解不了。
什么调解不了？你自己说。
我调解不了，就是调解不了啊。
夫妻走到这里，你说什么理由？
为什么非得要离婚呢？
要离就是要离呗。
要有什么道理？
总得要
这是不是要把我逼死？你们就开心了哦。
不是，你总得知道我为什么要离婚，这是合情合理的一个理由了。
这夫妻之间的事只有我们自己知。
This is a special couple, married for 6 years, yet they never shared a bed. What's most incomprehensible is that, under such circumstances, the wife suddenly became pregnant and gave birth to a child for her husband. Because of this, conflict arose between them, and now the wife can no longer hide the truth. Determined to divorce, the wife's attitude left her husband completely lost. He had no idea where the child in her belly came from. So what really happened between this couple? And how did they end up together in the first place? The husband's name is Wang Youqi, 42 years old, and his wife is Liu Yang, a woman over 10 years younger than him. They had been married for 6 years and, in the eyes of friends and family, they seemed like a happy couple. Their life appeared harmonious, and recently they had a baby boy, a healthy child that made many people envious. Wang Youqi was born into a humble rural family. Marrying a young and beautiful woman like Liu Yang was no easy feat, so he treated her with great affection and tried his best to make her happy. However, something completely unexpected happened not long ago. Liu Yang suddenly asked for a divorce, without giving any reason. Wang was shocked and couldn't understand why. During their arguments, a shocking secret was revealed. To understand what happened, we need to go back 6 years. At that time, Wang was already in his 30s, living in poverty in the countryside. Because he had no money, he could never find a partner. His family was equally desperate about his situation. Then, by chance, he met Liu Yang, a woman 11 years younger, beautiful, lively, and full of energy. Wang was immediately captivated, but since she was a city girl and he was a poor rural man, he didn't even dare to speak to her. He was shy, simple, and reserved, the classic countryside type. It seemed like a hopeless love. Even so, he asked a matchmaker to help him approach Liu Yang. To his surprise, the young woman accepted his courtship, and shortly after, the two officially married. The speed of the relationship shocked Wang, but he was overjoyed. He felt lucky to have married such a beautiful wife. Soon after the wedding, Liu Yang asked to return to her parents' home. Wang, who spent most of his time working away, agreed without question. But shortly after that, she became pregnant. 6 years have passed since then, yet Liu Yang never came back to live with her husband. She stayed with her parents all along. Now, she demands a divorce and has revealed a devastating secret. She was already pregnant before the marriage, and the child was not Wang Youqi's. The revelation shocked everyone. It meant that Wang had been an unwitting stepfather, raising another man's child as his own. Wang, however, refused to believe it. In front of mediators, he insisted that the boy was his son, claiming his wife only wanted a divorce because she looked down on him for being poor. Tired of the constant fighting, Wang sought help from local mediators in hopes of saving his marriage. But Liu Yang responded with hostility, refusing to listen to advice and insisting the marriage was beyond repair. When asked why she wanted a divorce, she said Wang was irresponsible and unambitious, and that he never cared for their child, not even when the boy was sick. She also confirmed that she had gotten pregnant before the marriage, something that, according to her, everyone knew, including Wang himself. She claimed he had willingly accepted the situation to avoid losing the chance to marry a beautiful woman. But Wang denied everything. He said he had no idea she was pregnant and would never have married her if he knew the child belonged to another man. To uncover the truth, the mediators went to find the matchmaker who had introduced them. The elderly woman confirmed that she never noticed Liu Yang was pregnant. It was winter, and Liu Yang always wore thick clothes, making it impossible to tell. Even she was shocked to learn of the pregnancy. It became clear that Liu Yang had hidden everything from the start, and Wang truly didn't know. The matchmaker also found it strange that Liu Yang had chosen to marry such a simple man, given that, with her looks and youth, she could have easily found someone more successful. In the end, the truth surfaced. Liu Yang used Wang as a social cover, a husband in name only. Even so, he refused to accept the divorce, deceiving himself by believing the boy was his son. Liu Yang then stated that the two had never had marital relations during their 6 years of marriage, making it impossible for the child to be his. With that, Wang finally stopped insisting. Still, before agreeing to the divorce, he demanded compensation of 100,000 yuan, claiming he had spent that much raising the child. Unable to pay, Liu Yang refused, and the dispute went to court. In the end, this story serves as a warning: marriage is not a game. Without honesty and trust, no relationship can survive. Liu Yang accused Wang of being irresponsible, but looking at the facts, she was the one who lied and destroyed the marriage. Even knowing the boy wasn't his, Wang raised him for 6 years, and all he received in return was betrayal and contempt. May he one day find someone truly worthy of his kindness. And you, what do you think about this story? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Liu Yang became an expert at turning guilt into theatre. She didn't just lie, she performed. Every word, every look, every sigh became part of a role she played so convincingly that even she began to believe it. She left her parents' house already pregnant by another man, married Wang Yuqi, and spent 6 long years playing the part of a faithful wife, though she never once shared a bed with her husband. All that time, she carried on as if nothing were wrong, as if silence could rewrite the truth. The child her husband worked so hard to raise was never his, but she wore her innocence like armor. You don't need to be a genius to see that the so-called miracle of the wind had another name: betrayal. But Liu Yang chose silence, disguise, and the comfort of a well-rehearsed lie. Meanwhile, poor Wang labored day and night, believing he was a father, a husband, a provider. He was building a life on sand, trusting in a dream that never existed. In reality, he was just a supporting actor in a play written by someone else, a story that began with a hidden belly and ended with a shattered illusion. And the irony? Even after the truth was exposed, Liu Yang still tried to rewrite the ending. She claimed the marriage failed because he was poor, lazy, unmotivated, as if poverty were a greater sin than deceit. A convenient narrative, really. Because for some people, it's easier to blame others than to look in the mirror and face the person responsible for it all. She wanted security, not love, stability, not truth, and she found a man kind enough or foolish enough to give her both. Wang traded suspicion for hope, logic for emotion. He believed every word she said, raised the child as his own, and when the truth finally came to light, he still tried to protect what was left. Some would call that love, others emotional blindness. But there's only so long a lie can hide behind compassion. Time has a cruel sense of justice it doesn't erase, it exposes. It waits patiently, letting the mask slip little by little until the truth stands naked for everyone to see. The Child of the Wind was never a miracle of nature. It was the consequence of a choice, one that Liu Yang tried to bury under layers of silence and self-pity. But the past is stubborn. It clings to the skin no matter how hard you try to wash it off. And when it finally resurfaced, it was already too late for apologies, too late for explanations. Wang Yuqi learned the hardest lesson of all. Not every smile hides sincerity, and not every promise is made with love. Some people say beauty is a blessing, but for him, it was a curse. He fell in love with the appearance of purity and ended up holding the weight of another man's mistake. And Liu Yang? She proved that even the softest wind can carry the heaviest lies. For 6 years it blew gently, whispering comfort, keeping her secret safe, until one day it changed direction. And when it did, it brought with it the scent of betrayal, the kind that sticks to your soul and never fades. Perhaps the most chilling part isn't the lie itself, but the calmness with which she sustained it. The way she looked him in the eyes every day, thanked him for his sacrifices, and slept soundly knowing that everything he worked for was built on deception. If there were an award for best performance in a marriage, she'd win it without competition. But every performance ends, every curtain falls, and when hers did, there was no applause, only silence. The kind that follows when truth walks into the room and fiction runs out of breath. After all, there's no such thing as a child of the wind. There's only the child of a bad decision, dressed up as destiny, carried by lies, and born into someone else's heartbreak. In the end, this story isn't just about betrayal, it's about the price of blind faith, about how far one person will go to protect a lie, and how deep another will fall believing in it. Wang lost 6 years of his life chasing a dream that never existed. Liu Yang lost herself trying to make the world believe it did. So, if there's a lesson here, it's simple. Truth doesn't hide forever. It may sleep, it may whisper, but one day it screams loud enough for everyone to hear. And when that day comes, no amount of denial can silence it. If you think this story sounds more like a drama script than real life, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more shocking real-life stories like this one. See you in the next video.